All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Doing some sneaker news. I'm going to touch on a few things that released last week. If you missed it, there was a big release from Kith. It was like a four-way collab. It was Kith, Asics, what was it? Marvel and Capcom. It was a collection of apparel and just all kinds of accessories for Marvel and Capcom. It had hoodie, t-shirts, crew necks, posters, action figures. I mean, they went nuts with this. All of this around these four pairs of shoes. It was crazy. But I mean, they had hats, they had posters, they had a rug, they had a chair. And so on the sneakers, they were featuring characters like Mega Man, Ryu, Captain America, Iron Man, Guile, and Wolverine, my all-time favorite. And then the A6 models that they used were the Gel Kayano 12.1s, Gel Kayano 14, and the Gel Nimbus 10.1. You know, they had kind of the action figure theme shoes. The box on this thing is just insane. The A6 Gel Nimbus 10.1 was the Iron Man and the Mega Man. The A6 Gel Kayano 12.1 was Captain America and Guile. And then my all-time favorite was the Gel Kayano 14. That was the one for Ryu. And then you had the Kayano 14, Gel Kayano 14 Wolverine. My actual favorite was the one they did for the Ryu. Those hits with kind of that, I don't know if that's like a baby blue with, you know, a little bit of that maroon there on the heel of the midsole. Just the way that kind of sail white, you know, pops, and then of course the black with the Asics, pattern logo there. I thought those were the best ones. I know the action figures sold out. I believe that these shoes here sold out. I didn't really know what to expect from this. A pretty big release. It got a little bit of hype, which I was kind of surprised, but that box is insane. So anyway, moving on. Also was the Travis Scott. We all know how that went. I don't know if you tried for these, got in on the raffle. I mean, obviously, man, it's such a great pair of shoes. Looks wise, you got practical, the blue and the white. It's so awesome. Anyway, the big release on, what was it, Saturday? Was, of course, the Chicago Lows. I didn't really cop a pair myself. I mean, great colorway. I've already got these right here, which I know are not like Chicago's. But it's like if I wear pants and it covers up the top part, it looks like I have Chicago's on. I don't know. I really do like those Chicago Lows. I might pick up a pair at some point. I was actually surprised that it was not a day one sellout. Like I was kind of surprised that these didn't sell out right away. It's not that they didn't sell. They definitely sold. When I checked the sneakers app later in the day, there was, I think, size 17 or 15 left or something like that. But I know other retailers have them still. Hell, I got a notification this morning that I think it was JD Sports. You know, they had them in my size, which is a 10.5. I'm just surprised that there's anything left. Obviously, classic colorway, just in low top form. Still a great shoe nonetheless. A lot of people copped. Again, I wouldn't mind having it. I don't know. There's other shoes I want to spend money on, and I've kind of been reworking my shoe budget. I was buying, I don't know, 3 or 4 pair a month in the past, and I've kind of slowed down to putting money into other things, trying to get a business off the ground. So, but anyway, great shoe nonetheless. All right. Also, something else that released last week, but I didn't see a lot of fanfare about these either. It was the World Cup country-specific soccer federation pack. But I thought they had some cool colorways, so I just thought I'd do a little spot on it. You had Adidas celebrating the World Cup with 4-pack of sneakers. The 4 sneakers are each themed after a specific country. Argentina gets a superstar, but the rest of the nations have models that are inspired by their names, which includes the Adidas Japan, the Mexicana, and the Italia. So some of what they had, you had, obviously Argentina with the superstar, and then Japan had the Adidas Japan, and then there was the Mexicana, and then the Italia. I thought it was a cool idea. I don't know how many people picked this up. I'm not a big soccer fan myself. I don't really play the sport. I don't watch the sport. So nonetheless, you have a lot of soccer themed shoes. I mean, Adidas is big into that space. I think the Superstar, in my opinion, was the best one. That's the Argentina one. But as far as the colorways go, they're pretty, kind of the low profile shoes. Even that the Superstar is. I really like the colorway on it. I thought that was a cool colorway. The other ones are, you get the green and the navy, but anyway, all right. Something else that caught my eye last week was the Jeremy Scott and Uggs bringing back out the Flame Boot. So it's been 8 years since the last time this thing was released. And I remember seeing this some years back, wondering where the hell those even came from. I normally don't go for stuff like this, but I would actually rock these. They're obviously flamboyant, but they're flamboyant in a cool way. I have several of the Vans shoes with the little flames and lightning bolts and stuff on them. I always like that. But these here, so you have designer Jeremy Scott and UGG re-releasing the iconic Flame Boot collab from 2017. So it was released Friday. And then now it says they released it exclusively at the UGG Soho and Fifth Avenue retail stores in New York City. With the global release through UGG's online store in Europe, Japan, China, and Australia. So I don't know. I guess if you're in the States, I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a big release here or if the retail store was it. Anyway, I really thought this was a cool boot. I remember this from some years back. I had forgotten about it, so it was kind of reminding me of it again. And I remember, thinking how weird they were back then. But now that I see it again, it's like I would totally rock this. I'm not spending $400 on a UGG boot because there's just no way I would wear it. I live in Texas. We just don't have enough cold weather to make this worth it. But if I had $400 just to throw away on this boot, I would absolutely do it. But anyway, cool collab, cool boot. Cool brand, cool designer. Go check it out. And now for some shoes releasing today. We've got the New Balance bringing back the OG 2002R Protection Pack. If you missed out on these a few years ago, here's another chance. They released today, November 18th. Yeah, if you missed out on these a few years back, you got another chance. I really like this model, and I love the colorway. All three of these colorways are great. My favorite is the Sea Salt. I just think that was the best looking one in my opinion. Granted, I do like that rain cloud. I love how the material on these things, how they're kind of looks like it's ripped away to reveal material underneath. I just think always thought that was a really cool design. You get the three colorways, including Sea Salt, Rain Cloud, and Phantom. They're each $150 each. Really cool colorways. Very cool shoe. They released today. If you want them, go get them. I believe they're still available, if I'm not mistaken. And also, if you're a Rick Owens fan and you like Converse, today they released the Dark Shadow Onesters with Rick Owens. Extends his collection of the reimagined Converse classic to the one star with a distorted interpretation of the icon. Elongated tongue, widened base, and extra textured hair on high leather for the upper. Blowing out and exaggerating the lines of the one star, Rick Owens gives the classic low top a distinctive dark shadow look and feel, complemented by custom branding across the design. I really like these. I mean, these are $185. I have a pair of Onesters that I really like, and they are pretty comfortable shoes. Chucks to me are not the most comfortable shoe, but I have a pair of the Onesters, and they're kind of like Vans, which is kind of what these are. Anyway, I really like the design of these. These dropped today. If you're into Rick Owens, I mean, I don't care much for these elongated tongues though. That's the only thing I don't really like. It's not like a deal breaker. I would still buy the shoe. I just would not pay $185. I mean, the most I would pay for a shoe like this is probably $80. That's just me. I don't like them enough to pay twice that. But nonetheless, really cool shoe. And of course, it's Rick Owens, so obviously that's going to up the price a bit. But, the design is unique. If you're a big fan of the one star, go check these out. They definitely have sold some of the sizes out. Looks like, men's 7, men's 8, 8.5, to 11, 11.5, 12. Those are all sold out, it looks like. So if this is something that interests you, it's out there. Oh, and also they re-released the Nike Baltero, those hiking boots that were big in the 90s. No, so Nike, we're bringing back the Baltero in all its 90s rugged outdoor style. Suede and textiles mixed for a textured boot that's ready to romp. I remember these back in the day. It was like the kids that got good grades wore these. Yeah, you've got the bright spruce and fruit punch. You had a baroque brown and a midnight navy. And then, of course, you had the all black. Granted, my favorite is that bright spruce and fruit punch, kumquat, whatever. It's just so multicolored. You got a little bit of pink on the heel. I don't know if this specific colorway was out. It may have been, but I remember these back in the day. It's just so 90s. It screams early 90s. I had a jacket, like a windbreaker jacket that was around that color. But anyway, these are also available now as well. Great shoe. I would totally get one. $145 to me is not a bad price. I would totally rock this. But, if you want to be stylish while hiking, go get some Balteros. They're out there. And also, if you haven't heard by now, Steph Curry has parted ways with Under Armour. This kind of came out of the blue. A lot of people were not expecting this. I remember even getting a notification on my phone that showed that. And I was like, wait, what? This has to be some kind of clickbait. But nope, it is a thing. He has parted ways with Under Armour. Steph Curry and Under Armour are parting ways after 12 years in partnership. Under Armour had signed Curry to a lifetime deal in 2023. Curry brand is now free to seek new partners and investment. Curry brand will continue to be distributed by Under Armour for the next year, with the release of the Curry 13 in February 2026 being the last shoe. After October 2026, there will be no more Under Armour Curry releases. I did not see this coming. Here on Soul Retriever, they even have a picture of this. This is a poll showing who Steph should sign with. There was an image of him wearing the Kobe's. So I think it was like the next game. He already had on Nike. So I don't know. It's going to be similar to, Kobe Bryant when he was a free agent after he had left, parted ways with Adidas, and he was wearing all kinds of shoes, and it just made for that cool season when he was wearing all kinds of stuff. I don't know if we're going to see that with Steph, if he's going to move on to someone else. He's obviously got the Curry brand, if he'll partner with someone else, but I guess the end of an era there. So with Steph Curry leaving or parting ways with Under Armour, we now have news of Cade Cunningham. He's going to be getting his own shoe. So you have NBA star Cade Cunningham. He's the next in line to get a Nike signature sneaker. Former number 1 overall pick, signed with Nike prior to being drafted by the Pistons in 2021. Since joining Nike, he's been rocking a ton of player exclusive sneakers. Expect Cade's signature shoe to debut in the second half of the 26-27 NBA season. But here's a video of him and Kevin Durant talking about it.
I just got a text, matter of fact, saying that you signing back with Nike.
This is true.
That's true. And you're going to get your own signature shoe. That's true?
That's true, bro. Hey,
bro.
No, bro.
I'm so happy for you, dog.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you want me to tell you, but we had a conversation this summer.
Bro, the fact you picked up that phone call, though,
come on, dog.
bro, it was so real, fam.
Come on, dog. Early on in my career, I was more so like, all right, just give me a shoe, and I would just put it on.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I really started to value from the ground up, the whole process, the advertising, all that, bro. It's a part of your legacy. That's who you are. The shoe's gonna be on the ground forever when you done playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Daughter gonna be able to have her name on these shoes. So,
Facts.
man, that's what's up.
I don't got no words about it, bro. I'm still like, man, it's crazy. It's a dream come true, bro. Like, that's dope.
All right, and now for some shoes dropping tomorrow. We've got the Vaquera NYC. They supersized the Converse Chuck Taylor in a new wedge all-star lineup. These things are crazy. They look like snow boots. When I first saw the picture of these, I thought these had to be like some Rick Owens or something like that because of just how crazy they look. Nope. Converse Chuck Taylor All-Star X High Pack is exactly what it sounds like. A collection of classic Chucks done with an extra high top finish. 2 styles are each available in black and white colorways. The Vaquera Converse Chuck Taylor All-Star X High Pack. The X High pairs stretch just above the ankles with a drawstring closure at the top to keep the floppy upper stable at your desired leg height. The medial side All-Star Circle logo is redone with Vaquera branding, but other than the height, the classic white and black colorways are as traditional as they come. The triple X high pairs add another foot or 2 of length onto the upper, creating a canvas sneaker that stretches all the way up to the knee. If you're into making a more extreme fashion statement, go get you a pair. And then in other sneaker news, it's going to be released later in the month. It looks like Vaquera's also done a lipstick-covered Nike Air Max D&8 collab. They're going to be debuting that apparently at Paris Fashion Week. So it's a Nike Air Max D&8 model shoe. Has the Vaquera branding like on the tongue. And then has, I guess, lipstick kisses on it. So this is obviously a women's release. It comes in women's sizing. You got a $220 price tag on that bad boy. So yeah, you're going to have to really like this brand or really like that model of shoe. So the Vaquera NYC Nike Air Max D&8 is a white sneaker covered in all over print lipstick kisses in bright red, like the collar of a classic white button-up shirt tainted by an after-work affair. The shoe features patent leather across the upper for a bit of extra sheen with clear dynamic air units underfoot. Vaquera branding is front and center on the tongue in black script with Air Max written beneath it. Vaquera NYC Nike Air Max D&8 will be released holiday 2025 through Nike and select retailers in-store and online. Available in women's sizing, the retail price is set at $220. So there it is. All right, and now for a shoe that I know a lot of people will be looking forward to, and that is the Air Jordan 10 Retro Shadows, right? So those are going to be releasing tomorrow. The Air Jordan 10 Retro Shadow will be released in men's sizing for $210. The pair will be available at multiple retailers, like the steel gray colorway. Don't expect it to be an easy cop. Nike has made the silhouette semi-limited. That kind of sucks, but oh well. I mean, it is what it is. I know these are expected to be a big sellout. Last retroing in 2018, the pair maintains its original construction with a shadow gray suede upper, now toted as charred gray. Sitting atop a tumbled leather base in the black hue, More black is found on the midfoot and the collar overlays, while the black mesh is on the tongue. A red Jumpman logo embroidered onto the heel tab contrasts the primarily dark upper. Inside, the sock liner takes on a checkerboard pattern in black and gray. Jordan branding is also on the tongue tag, featuring debossed Air Jordan N23 text. Finishing the sneaker is the black foam midsole paired with a black and gray upper rubber outsole. Unfortunately for fans of the toe cap, a feature that never actually made its way to the retail version, this iteration will not feature the added overlay. Anyway, awesome looking shoe. If they are semi-limited, I'm expecting a sellout. If these haven't been out since 2018, that's a good minute, and people really like these. I expect these to sell out, quite honestly. And not to be outdone, Nike is releasing the Air Force 3 Low Nigo collab, the Phantom and Night Stadium. The story behind these, with the shoe and all, is it's the celebrated Japanese fashion designer Nigo puts an artistic spin on the legendary Air Force 3, taking inspiration from kintsugi, or the art of repairing broken pottery with lacquer and powdered precious metals. He has fused ceramics and kicks in a previously unseen way. Textured leather translates the look and feel of pottery, while the debossed gold split speaks to the art of kintsugi. Asymmetrical blocking and split-colored midsole continue the theme of repaired breakage. I don't really care for these. I mean, the story, I guess, is kind of cool. Looks-wise, it's just whatever. They have Nigo's name, so I imagine they're going to do quite well for that reason. I assume they'll be somewhat limited as a result. Don't hold me to that. I don't know. I assume Nigo fans are going to buy these up. You're big into Nigo. Anyway, these come out Friday. So if you're looking forward to these, there you go. All right, so now for two pairs of shoes that are going to be releasing on the 27th of this month. This is the Ducks of a Feather and Nike are dropping two Oregon Ducks Air Force Ones for GOAT Black Friday. Ducks of a Feather is launching two new Air Force One collabs. The two-pack is themed after the question, which came first, the duck or the egg? One pair opts for a duck-themed colorway and the other after a baby duck. Both pairs will be released via GOAT's Black Friday event on November 27th. So just to give you a little read-up on it, which came first, the egg or the duck? That's a question as old as time, but the University of Oregon's NIL program division, which runs the Ducks of a Feather brand, is seeking an answer. In the brand's latest project with Nike, Ducks of a Feather is releasing two Air Force Ones that pose this question. The two sneakers each invert the answer to the question, one pair opting to represent the duck and the other the egg. Starting with the egg or duck pair, the upper is coated in a mixture of white leather with black splatter paint and iridescent green leather that mimics a mallard duck's coat. Darker green shades appear on the suede swoosh and oversized cotton laces, while a vibrant Oregon Ducks green takes over the sock liner, tongue tag, and outsole. Ducks of a Feather branding is applied to the right tongue with references to the duck and egg question on the heel tab. Final details include the webbed duck feet on the lateral heel and the question itself on the inside of the tongue tag. So, for the duck or egg colorway, the egg wins the battle, while the other pair takes on an adult duck as a reference. This version uses a baby duck as its muse. Coating the sneaker in light yellow shades, premium suede, and faux fur are used in the upper and swoosh, respectively. A broken egg graphic is found on the lateral heel. The question itself also appears inside the tongue tag, like the other pair, and the duck and egg embroidery on the heel is flipped. I don't know how limited these things are going to be. I feel like these will be damn near impossible to get. Shows that they're releasing on the 27th, so that's next Thursday. Yes, next Thursday. The egg or duck, and then you have the duck or egg. So, one obviously resembles the speckled egg. One is kind of the baby chick or the baby duck, I guess. Really cool details. I like these a lot. I would take either one of these pairs, but I really like the speckled egg one. I just like that colorway the best. It's such a really cool thing. They got like the egg with the duck hatching, a little hang tag. But anyway, super cool. If you're hoping to get a pair of these, hey, I hope you cop them. Let's move on. The Zellerfeld 3D printed Nike Air Max 95,000 channels OG Air Max 95 energy. Nike is expanding its multi-year partnership with Zellerfeld. The duo has created the Air Max 95,000, a 3D printed interpretation of the Air Max 95. The Nike sneakers and Zellerfeld launch takes place on November 28th. That's next Friday. These things are badass. I love anything I don't have to lace up. I totally want to get a pair of these. I'm going to try like hell to get a pair. $250. It's a lot, but I love that black and volt color. I have the foam posits in the black and volt. I love those things. I just love that colorway. I want these. These are awesome. But I'm going to leave on that note. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like, comment on it. Let me know if there's any of these shoes you're going to cop. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.